Okay, here we are in the final assembly instructions, and just to check, make sure you guys got all parts. That was just a axle there, and it spun pretty freely. This is my longer axle, and that's spinning pretty well. I've got a double 90-degree bend on each side. This is the propeller shaft. It spins freely. You can see how one end is hooked, and the other end has a double 90-degree bend. I've got my wheels. Each wheel should have a hole right in its center. A good tool for that is that one of those pointy compasses, or just a sharp pencil, and that's fine too. So I've got my two big wheels, the two small wheels, and let's see what else we got. The propeller, of course, there should be a hole in that as well. And then also you'll need the propeller mount right there, which is kind of that M-looking thing. So these are the things that you'll need to assemble your car. Okay, what we're going to see here is you're going to watch me put my wheels on the axles. So I'm kind of just poking that through the hole, and I've got a couple pieces of tape ready off to the side, and I'm just going to put a piece of tape right on that. You can see why the double 90-degree bend is important, because it'll keep it from wobbling either way. So I'll get that tape on there firmly. Of course, I'm going to do the same thing now to the other side. And pretty simple. And then after you get the tape on there, you're going to want to check to make sure that your wheels can spin freely and see how they roll. So here I would kind of just use my thumb there. They spin freely. There's not a whole lot of friction between the straw and the wheels because I left a little wiggle room in my bends. So they're pretty good to go. You can see in this photo I've just got my two sets of wheels, the big ones and the small ones, and I'm going to show you now how to attach those to the main body of the car. Okay, the first thing you want to see here is I'm using a ruler to line up the wheel where the wheels should be placed, and that measurement right there is about 7 centimeters, so I recommend that for where to put your rear wheels. And then you can see I'm all the way at the end of the ruler here, so this is 30 centimeters from the end where I'm going to put my small wheels. And so you just want to make a little mark, maybe something like this right on your main body of your car. Just color it in with a pencil or something so that you can go ahead and attach those wheels. Okay, you can see here I've got 3 pieces of tape ready, and these are pieces of tape that were cut in half, made skinnier. They just turn out to be a little bit better for attaching the wheels. And you want to make sure you get those wheels centered. And I'm just using that first piece of tape just to kind of hold the wheels in place. And that's not going to be good enough to secure them, so that's why I've got the other 2 pieces of tape. I'm going to go ahead and kind of put them around like an X. So we'll go ahead and do that one. And then, of course, once I get that tape secure, we'll go ahead and take the other piece of tape and X it on the other side. Okay, here you see I've got both sets of wheels attached, and the car is able to move freely, and so we're ready to move on to the next step. This photo is showing how to attach the propeller mount. So I've got it all the way on the back, right back here. That's the back of the car, of course, and I've got a piece of tape. We're just going to take that tape and wrap it around the bottom like that. And that's just one piece of tape to make the initial hold in place, but we're going to have to fortify it with some other pieces of tape like that. And there's another place you're going to have to put some tape too. We'll call this right around the nose here, and I'll show you that on one of the next slides. One other thing you want to keep in mind is that if you notice here, this is the angle. It should be like a downward slope pointing right towards the front of the car. So make sure you get that downward slope pointing the right direction. Okay, so you can see it fully taped up. There's all sorts of tape down here. And notice how it's kind of like pinching your nose right there. It's really important to put some tape right there near the bottom, right where it rubs against the top of the main body of the car, because what's going to happen, there's going to be a lot of tension pulling down on this propeller mount from the rubber bands, and without this extra tape right there, it's just going to pull the whole thing downward. So that's important to secure. The next thing you're looking at here is just I've attached my propeller to the propeller axle, just kind of like we did the wheels. And there's my double 90-degree bend right there. And and also we're folding the propeller like this. So you're putting two folds in it, and so those will open up then, like so, and they'll make our propeller, which will be able to catch some air. You can see the hook is down here, and that's where our rubber bands are going to be attached eventually. In this slide, you're seeing me just take a small paper clip, and we're just opening it, I don't know, about 30, 40 degrees, something like that. And you don't need a big paper clip for that, just a small one's fine. And we're going to put that in the nose of the car. So you can see there's that paper clip right there that we were just talking about. And what I did is I went ahead and put a bunch of tape right here to tape that propeller axle onto the propeller mount. And one thing you want to notice is right here, look at that distance hanging over the end. That's important. If you don't have a little bit of distance, a centimeter or two past the end, then the propeller down here is going to run into the back of the car. And so make sure you leave that distance. And basically what we're going to do now, and I'll kind of show you with some blue here, we're going to attempt to put some rubber bands right here like this. Not just one rubber band. You're going to have to watch the next slide to see how I do that. But that's where we're going to store all of our elastic potential energy. So this video shows you how to take 3 rubber bands, and that's all you need. And watch carefully what I do with my fingers there, kind of folding them in and pulling it. I'm going to do the same thing with the other one here. So just kind of loop it in, and then loop it through, pull it, and now you've got 3 rubber bands hooked together in a way that they can store some good energy. This is a photo showing the finished car. You can see I just hooked the one rubber band up there, the other one is hooked up onto that paper clip, and we're really ready to wind it up and go. The reason I took this shot is because it's really important which way you spin your propeller or wind your propeller. So I'm going to show you in the next video. There's going to be I'll actually show you myself rotating it, but we need to spin it around that way with your finger. That's not the way that it's going to release as the car moves, but that's the way we're going to wind it up. And you'll see that in the next video. Okay, so we're ready to wind this thing, and you can see how I'm winding it in that direction so that when it releases, those propeller edges will catch air. And then we go ahead and set it on the ground and watch it go. There you go. And that's it. So at this point you're going to enter the troubleshooting phase, which is just trying to make little adjustments here and there to get the car to go farther and farther and straighter and straighter. So good luck, and I hope you enjoy building your car.